All right, all you devils, how's it going out there? Happy Friday. Here we are, it's 12:28. Yeah, I touched behind here. I record these videos with Camtasia, and for some reason I'm getting some errors, some file errors there. That's my problem here. Maybe an excuse for a new machine, right? It's always kind of fun. All right, so let's move on here. So I would say, anyone watching here, let's clear the room of any kids. Close the door, because this is going to be full of a whole lot of bull porn. So let's start on the weekly, all right? And I'm not doing that just for fun, just to get clicks. It would appear that we can start to do some projections here, if indeed that we have a good low. And if that's the case, yeah, this is going to get interesting. So I'm on Coinbase here, just working off of the weekly here. Well, of course, you can kind of see it. If indeed here, and I'm going to use the 18 low, if this is if this is 1 2 of 3, well, we'd still have another 1 here to deal with. This is going to, the projections here get kind of crazy, or it's almost hard to believe. You start looking at it going, oh, come on, man, we're going to 1.5 million, right? Well, again, we're just using the Elliott wave relationships that are fairly consistent. All right, so interesting times we're in here now. All of a sudden, we've gone from the depths of the FTX debacle to all of a sudden everybody's getting very, very bullish. Maybe, right? Maybe that crash and the carnage that came from that was enough, right, to get the low in and create enough panic. I mean, if you look at a weekly, we got one candle here, really, that, all right, is that FTX candle enough to set it off? Well, it creates some interesting scenarios here. Now, this is the, I have on here, that's the God MA, as it's called in TradingView, which is the average of the SMA and the EMA, which I like. It's kind of a proxy for the Vegas wave. It just takes up less space on your chart. Well, if we're going to get up above and start to go, whoa, this is going to get really interesting, right? So thus, I say in jest, right? Close the door, break out a tissue, time for some bull porn. I'm semi-serious in that, again, if this is a 2, well, the 3 is going to be up here. This is going to get very interesting. Okay, so let's see if we can make a case for that. Now, of course, it starts with the fact that we're going to have to try and get this correction to be complete down here. Well, it's been tricky all the way. So I think what's for the Elliottician, right, trying to solve the puzzle here, it's this it's not that it's a problem per se. It's just the relationship between, so let me back up. Let's get it labeled here so it would make sense here before I get off on being silly. Okay, so if this is a WXY into another X, right? So you're trying to finish this with a 3, so thus you think AB WX Y X A B C. Well, so then having it, again, I've got it labeled on the next chart. But if we just look at it here, well, you see the issue between the size of this ABC to this ABC. Now, it's not like that's never happened before. It's just a little bit abnormal. So you would look at that, and that's part of what's been so influential in thinking, God, could that be it? Are we going to finish with this little, right, on a relative basis, this much smaller ABC to get us done? It's starting to look that way. So we don't want to be, stubborn about, well, it can't be that because that doesn't fit the Elliott profile. That's silly, right? I mean, Elliott's a tool to help us try and organize the chaos. But we don't want to be so rigid that we're thinking, well, it can't be that. It can't be that because that relationship is off. So let's be practical and try and stay with, trying to read the market based on what it's telling us. So right now, there's a lot of bullish enthusiasm across all of risk assets. And we're going into the Fed, through next Wednesday. Now, the Fed, I mean, certainly it's going to influence risk assets. And if they surprise the market, which they don't like to do, pretty much the entire market has already factored in that we're going to get 25 on Wednesday, and barring some very, very hawkish commentary from the Fed, which they're prone to do. If that comes, that could cause a little reset. So that we're going to look at a couple of different. We're going to look at we'll look at Bitcoin, S&P, and ETH here. Okay, well, if this is a 1-2, you know, is this a 3? Maybe when we'll look at that 3, maybe that creates the 4, right? As we get a little, oh God, we're going to raise again. We get let the market digest that, and maybe by next Friday we're looking at a completed impulse here, which would be very telling with regards to a reasonable technical analysis of this as a low. Now, we're not there yet. This hasn't completed. We have a lot of resistance to get through. I mean, starting right here, let's get on the other side of the 200, I got EMA, 200 EMA, whatever you want to call it, right? So whatever you use, SMA, EMA, right? Or the got MA, right? It's a combination of the two. I kind of like that just for its versatility. Let's get through that. So what we'd hope for here is that we get up and then we come back down, right? Test, right? Test it. And we keep going. Which would suggest that, okay, if this is going to be the 2 here and we get if, heavy emphasis on 3, if we get a completed impulse here, we're going to look for that 2, and that's going to be potentially a real opportunity. You can kind of see the story, right, being framed here, 3, 4, 5, right? If, right? I think it's time to be a little bit more aggressive. So I tend to be more cautious, particularly on these videos. I know people will interpret and perhaps trade off of these, certainly members, right? I know you guys are kind of looking here. Now there's so much diversity amongst trading styles and trading time frames within our Discord and amongst my team here and our senseis and senpeis that, I mean, there's guys looking at, 1 and 2 minute charts. Right? So bigger picture here where I like to stay. This is looking very encouraging. Okay, so that's enough babble. All right, let's go over one here. So now I'm over on BitGet, which is where our trading chart here. With of course, members know, right? And so YouTube subs know they sponsor our channel. So I'm always going to do my trading analysis over here on BitGet because we like this exchange. They're doing a lot of interesting things. We like them, right? Particularly good for futures trading in crypto. Okay, so if we back this up, right here's the conundrum, right? If this is the second X, well, could probably be counted a couple of different ways, but the gist of it is here we got a big fat 3, right? And if we're going to end in a if we're going to end in a 3, it's got to be tied to some sort of corrective pattern here, right? 5s and 3s, we correct in 3s. Well, okay, A, B, C makes it part of this potentially the Z here. Well, as we've kind of watched here, and this is ripped and we've blown through, right? We had multiples, right? We talked about this. There's that one. Oh, come out of here. And then we blew through this one. We can use the lowest low here. No problem. No problem. Right, and this is the process, right? Because this is what the algorithm's going to do. All right, we're going to go up here. Hello. We're not through yet, but we're certainly threatening. Now, you could certainly see how this could be a case where, well, there's a couple of things going on here. This, if you really dig into the count, it looks like we're done here. But you've heard me say this many, many, many times because this is something I focus on when applying Elliott Wave. I want this all self-contained. I don't like to do this, right? And again, I just want to say don't like it. It's based off of experience. So if we're going to go 1, 2, then we're going to go 3, 4, 5. Feels like it's a force fit. It would be a much cleaner with regards to Elliott analysis here. Oh, come here. If this is 3, 4, 5, now we've got that good wave structure relationship, the time relationships. The time relationships are more consistent, right? So if this is going to hold here, you can see kind of a game plan here. Oh, up, boom, we're going to tag the golden zone here. retrace, right? That could be a reasonable place for a kickback here into the 4-5. And now we've got this just gorgeous looking impulse coming off of this, let's call it the FTX low. Whew, that's that. Now it's getting really interesting. Okay, so one other thing here, just it's worth doing it here. Let's look at it in and out of log, because when we're looking at a range here from 24 to 15, right? Now, granted, for most assets that's a wide range, but for Bitcoin, that's nothing. So let's pull this off here. So out of log scale, if we start looking at this, well, we've just tagged the 50. Again, I'm going back to the next dominant pivot here, and I would call this borderline dominant, but it's the last pivot high before the low. So, okay, we're coming up. Bump our head on the 50 would make sense yet again, right? So there's an impulse here, but trying to connect the two is a little tricky, right? You feel a little bit like you're force fitting. So let's let the market be the guide here. Well, certainly if this has another leg on it, if we've got this little leg here, well, we're going to have to relabel, right? So then the 5 is going to go up. All of this is going to start to look like, hey, wait a minute, we're not done. This would be the next logical place we'd anticipate that we'd get some resistance. Now, also note, looking left, boy, we went down pretty quickly. Here was the last check on this, the imbalances over here. Oh, I wouldn't ignore this pivot. I wouldn't ignore it, just on the other side of the 65. But I really I see it's tricky down there to get this 2 to play. This sure looks like a 5. Things that I don't like to do just to accommodate a bias. I don't want to do this. And when I say that, again, it's based off of experience, right? So if this is A, B, C, right? I mean, how are you going to do it, right? I mean, now we can go down to smaller time frames. It sure looks like a 5, right? Into an A. So you got to use the little, oh, fuck this, likely a triangle. And then there's a little 5 down here. So immediately you're like, oh, wait a minute. Truncation, right? I thought that was for lazy eliticians. Well, it often is, right? But if there's no other alternative, we got to consider that, because so part of it is here. If you think of the length of time of the 1, and then we're going to finish it here in what would appear to be a 5. At least if I come out here, I get more time relationship relative to what's coming off of this. So get off of there. I think we're stuck with this 2 here. This does look like an A, B, C, D, E. It looks like a triangle into the B, and then we can get a 5 down here. It's not, I'm on an 8-hour here, but you can go down to a 60. You can get a 5 out of that. A, B, you're going to have to allow for the truncation, which I know is a dirty word, but I don't see an alternate. So then we would go 1, 2. Well, so where's your 3, 4, right? So what you're stuck with here, it sure does look like there's a 5 up here that would finish it. But as I just noted, if we've got another kicker in here, and whether it's this week, next week, Fed week, right? If there's another kicker here, we're going to be back here looking at this going, shit, how am I going to get this? We'll perhaps solve that if we need to. It does kind of look like that's where we're headed. So 1, 2, well, part of the tool set we can use here to try and help us identify, that's all we're trying to do. If that's the 2, well, of course, it's hard not to notice that the high probability location for this 3 fits in pretty nicely with where we most commonly, right, statistically, where we most commonly see the 3, 61875. There's up to the 2618 for the 5 of the 5 at the 50, right? So we get a technical confluence here between the 2618 and the 50 from that last pivot. As I said, I want this to be, I want to find a clean count here, right? So even here, we'd have to be laying 2, 3, 4 times that. We're so steep. It's such a sharp move. I don't currently see a better fit for this than the 1, 2, 3. You got a tiny, tiny 4. Up to the 5, right? So let's let the market force it, right? If it's got another leg in it here, then, well, how do we do it, right? This would become the 3. The 5 moves up. The 4 would be over here. Perhaps there's a little kickback next week from the Fed. Perhaps, right? But shit, for all we know, there's a rocket launch from the Fed. Let's get this off. What I don't think is that the Fed is going to surprise the market by doing 50, right? There's too much damage would be done there, I think, and the Fed doesn't want to surprise the market. So the 25 is baked in. So what's everybody going to pay attention to is what's the commentary? How hawkish are they going to be? They're getting the numbers they wanted. Okay, so I think we can start to be a little less conservative here in terms of, okay, where's the opportunity? So it would seem a reasonable assumption here that we're not just going to keep going vertical, that at some point, whether it's profit taking or the market gets spooked by the Fed, there'll be some sort of correction. It doesn't take much, right? And we've got a nice big fat demand zone here sitting here. Boy, doesn't that look pretty, right? 1, 2, 3, down for the 4, pick up the demand zone here, prior consolidation, right? It just makes sense. So you look at it here and then we go over to this side and go, oh, okay, well, we stalled over here. Look how that plays just so beautifully into the potential 5 up to the golden. God, it doesn't get any prettier for an Elliottician. We gotta squeeze this around, right? So there may be a little bit of an Elliott shuffle here to get this to play. The problem is if this is 1, 2, where's you're gonna have to do 1, 2, 3? Do you see what that would do? See why I'm struggling with this? This would you'd end up doing this or something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's not like it's never happened before, but I wouldn't be leaning hard into that. Just because of the relationship between the 1, 2 and the 3, 4. It seems pretty self-evident. Okay, we're not there yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right now, okay, if this is going to be the 3, 4, 5, what are we anticipating? Perhaps a little pause, perhaps a little stall before we go into the Fed. Maybe there's another kicker, right? It looks like the market, the equity market is very much teed into, okay, by the rally. Let's get up there, see how the market responds. We know, right? It's just no different in any market. Institutions, right? What banks, call them what you will. Whales, I just call them whales. They're not going to buy the highs. They don't have to. Why? If you didn't have to, would you? They don't have to. They can create the 4, just with their size. And if you think otherwise, think again, right? We can't manipulate. We can't move the market, right? Whales can. 4, 5. So if you didn't participate here, which as I've commented over the last couple of weeks, I was not short-term trading here. Now I'm very long Bitcoin, but I wasn't swing trading in here because I was kind of waiting to see, okay, let's see what we get here. Now, if we retrace here, yeah, I'm interested. If this, right? And what I'm saying is I'd be interested in adding here for some, I try and make a distinction between long-term holdings that I would never touch, never sell, and trading capital, right? So trading capital, that sets up, I'm interested. Oh, let's see if I can put some structure to it. Something along these lines. Pull you up like this. That's the kind of setup that gets really interesting to me. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh boy. I mean, it's like right out of a textbook on technical analysis. So should we get something? Should we get something like that? You see how that right at the 38, right? For an Elliotticians, that's like, oh, come on, man, it can't be. That's right out of a book, right? It's not going to do that. No way it's going to do that. It wouldn't do that, would it? That's the most common location for the 4, but we would never do that during my trading, would it? It tends to be, right? We doubt ourselves, right? Especially if you've struggled or you had a few losing trades recently. For whatever, you think, oh yeah, okay, no way. It's not that easy. That's no way it's going to ping at the 34, at the channel, at the prior consolidation. No way when I'm trading is that going to happen. That's not an uncommon thought process here. So catch yourself there. If this shows up, now you don't have to sit there with a limit order, but what do we know? If this is going to complete, what do we know is likely to come there? Again, the market doesn't have to do anything. What is probable? Some sort of 5, right? If we're going to break that so no shit, we could go up here double time. I'm saying again, a market can do whatever it wants at any time, but what's probable? The probable path here is that some sort of a 5 is going to come out of here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to get a textbook perfect stick figure 5. Probably not, right? Maybe you get a big extension. Oops. Maybe you get a big extension in the 1, and it's oddly shaped. Maybe it's a diag. But some sort of 5 is likely more probable than not if this is going to complete this impulse. So we got a couple of choices here. I mean, we can complete that into the Fed. The Fed does what it's going to do. And okay, here comes all right, let's take a little profit. It could be profit before they talk, before the press conference, right? Because I don't think anybody thinks they're going to do anything other than 25. So it's going to be all about what do they say afterwards. Interesting, right? So if this comes, don't miss the opportunity, right? If we waited all this, right? I'm speaking half to myself, half to you guys, right? If it comes and sets up here, don't let it run. Don't let it get away from you. At least take a piece of it here. To put a fucking stop on it, but take a piece. You're like, oh, Jesus, it's coming down. I don't like to buy those, right? Okay, let it get a little reaction. 1, 2, right? Take the 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I'm just using the algo target here. That could be up. Don't let that one slip by, because if now I'm way ahead of myself right here. We're not here. We don't know where the pivot is. But if this plays, don't miss it. Now, but okay, let's say fuck whatever. I was busy with XYZ. Okay, what can we anticipate? Right. Again, if you're practicing Elliott Wave, okay, we can anticipate some things here. Okay, we waited to get a low down here. Okay, the conservative traders down here thinking, okay, well, prove it to me that we're going to get a 5. Okay, well, there's your 5. What did we get up to? 25 and change, right? There's a lot of resistance at 25. The whole market's looking for 25. What happens at 25? Why are they looking at 25? Well, why are they looking at 25? There's 25, right? Prior pivot. What do we know without any question marks is sitting right here? The entire planet trading Bitcoin knows what's sitting here. A fuckload of stops, right? So there's liquidity there. So the vulnerability is up, grab the liquidity, down we go, right? But what would that be doing, right? That's teeing up the 2, right? 1, 2. Now, if you know anything, well, we'll have some time here. If we get something like this, that's not one to miss. Right now, again, I'm way ahead of the market here. I'm way ahead. I'm just trying to plant the seeds here. Let's be sure not to miss these. This one should be an opportunity if it comes. If you miss that one, and then keep in mind, if you miss this one, like I didn't see it or whatever, don't fret. Right. Of course, the market could run, but probability here, there's probable that we'll get a retrace. Okay, is it all the way to the golden zone? We don't know, right? This would be the high probability location, would it not? Right. So, can I get you out of there? Oh, that's a demand zone here, so I can't do it. So we'd come down here between 50 and the golden zone here. Now you're buying it around 20-ish, 20, 21, 19. So don't feel like, I'd missed it on that push from that 4 at 21 to 25 to complete that impulse. I missed it. Well, what's probable after that, right? The 2. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have here? Let's go. I wanted to look at total too. Again, right? So here's just total market cap. Well, this is where you start looking at this going, God damn, if this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, well, the projections up here are, well, let's just say, crypto changes the world, right? That's pretty much what changes it. Well, at least at the very least changes our perception of money, right? Which has always been its potential, right? There's a lot of people fighting against this, but if this Elliott Wave count is realized, crypto has changed the entire planet. That sounds ridiculous, doesn't it say that? But if we're at a $10 trillion, all I'm doing, I'm not doing anything fancy here. 1, if that's the 2. Where's the high probability location here? This would have to go even further, right? It gets to be like, oh, come on, man. This is ridiculous. I told you this was full of porn. Okay, 1, 2. Where's the 3? That's 17 trillion market cap. Is that enough porn for you? Bull porn? I mean, again, it's no magic I'm doing in here. I'm just, what does the market typically do? I hope I got you a little bit fired up, right? I mean, because this is all kind of like, wow, this is actually fucking setting up, right? Wow, like really? Oh, but FTX, like, oh, fuck, crypto's over. Shit, I knew. Wow, that was a scam, right? When what? God damn, man! Listen to the guys, Jamie Dimon, all of them, like the rat poison. I told you it was rat poison. Oh God, damn! I love to see those guys eat those words. As a crypto bull, I'm dying to see him choke on that. Well, he won't choke on it. What he'll do is you'll have, well, yeah, all of them will be long and strong in crypto if that's what's heading, if that's what's coming, I should say. Let's go look at Ethereum. All right, here's a I don't know why I've got this on crack and I just started doing the TA over here. I should be on BitGet. Sorry guys. 1, 2, 3, right? We're still in the possibility that this is a 4 down here. Okay, right? That is, God, sure looks like, God, I have trouble with that. 1, 2, 3, right? You can complicate it. You can call it a WXY. At the end of the day, it's a 3. Okay, there's a 1. Is that the next 3? Deep 2? Sure looks like it. It's got the potential. Now here I got the Vegas wave on. Look how the Vegas wave is... Right, that's why let's not discount it. Look how the Vegas wave is providing that resistance. Now all of a sudden, oh, we're just on the other side of the 233. Look at this. Lips, cracked lips. Just occurred to me. Okay, so ABC 1. This is a little funky. How are we doing this, right? Oh shit! You gotta do it this way actually, because you got to do this as a 5, 3, because the waterfall here you can't squeeze a 3 in there. I mean you barely. I guess here I squished it a little bit. Do it there. So I think the Elliottician here in the interest of, okay, can we complicate it? Yeah, but when in doubt, let's keep it simple. There's a 3. 1, 2. All right, let's dig in there. This is the daily. Get you out of there. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, it's almost identical to Bitcoin here. It's a little, it's not ideal, right? But you can from coming out of that, 1, 2, right? It's kind of the same problem, right? You kind of feel like, oh, I got to go 3, 4, 5. Well, at least this one here, if it's 1, 2, this 3 here fits together a little bit better. This feels completed. Okay, maybe there's another leg. I'm not saying there's not, or there couldn't be. Well, then we just roll it up, right? This becomes the 3, 4 of the 3. Some sort of, I don't know where that finishes here. Some sort of corrective action here. So I say that and I go, well, okay, well, you don't know where that's going to potentially pivot. Well, where's the high probability location where it would, right? Somewhere in here between the 23 and here, let's just put the wave 4 on. Oh, wave 4, right? So here's our high probability zone for the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So again, if we get this, 1, 2, 3. Let's get you up a degree or 2. All right, what are we saying? 3, 4. There's a 5 up here somewhere. Okay, all of a sudden, it's game on. Game on for crypto. Starting to look better and better, right? A long wait to get through all this. I've been this bullish since 20. I mean, it's been a while. Get you reset here. We could probably come out of log there. Get some of this off. It's starting to really line up. Now, of course, we can all be very disappointed here. I think we're going to have to stay in log here to get that separation. There could, shit happens, right? I mean, we've got, what's the most likely thing to fuck this up? Government intervention. I mean, government can certainly make a mess of just about everything. So, I mean, is the U.S. going to default on its debt? Well, that would sure put a monkey in the wrench here. They talk like they're going to do it, but I don't think they will, right? Which is why I remain this bullish, but we're dumb enough to do it. I mean, over here, well, I know I got people watching here from the States as well as internationally here. We in the United States are tribal and stupid enough politically to do it. So what would happen then? All of this goes down the toilet. So we can't eliminate this. We can't eliminate it. There's no risk-free trading, right? So let's be clear about that, right? People do stupid shit all the time, right? Who thought FTX was going to do what they did, right? You're thinking, oh God, this guy's a fucking genius, MIT physics grad, he $1 billion what did he have? 29 billion or I don't remember what he had. 10 billion at 29. He's a fucking thief. Look at the impact his greed and incompetence has had across the globe. How many people have been hurt from that? People do stupid things, right? We're all motivated, right? What is the lifeblood of humanity? Money. Money makes us do stupid shit every day, every single day, right? So we as traders, we don't want to ignore the potential for people to do really stupid things because it happens all the time. All right, I don't mean to be raining on everybody's parade here, but let's go look where we are here. Okay, so I'm jumping around here. So now I'm over on Bitstamp. I don't know why, this is what I had. Okay, so off of this low here, is this legit? Well, there's a 5. There's a kind of a funky 3. Looks like we can do it, right? Looks like we can get that done. We got a double bottom down here. Okay, that's not a crisis. Looks like there's a clean 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, what a shocker. Where do we stall, right? Where do we stall? Where would we have thought we might run into some resistance? Note, not the 618. Splits the golden zone. Right, which is why some people go, oh fuck, why do I need that? All right, I can just if it's in that range, somewhere in that range. I don't know. I'll tell you, there's something about the precision of that little pocket between the 618 and the 65. I wouldn't ignore it. All right, can we do that? Can we get that 5 in? Right, then you're starting to go, okay, well, sell side's broken, at least from that pivot. We got other pivots to get through. It's a long way back to new all-time highs, but we're making a hell of a good start on it here. A hell of a good start. 1, 2, 1. Right, well, this is not going to be 3. 3's got a ways to go. Well, where might we target for the 3? Right, again, this is just basic Elliott. Okay, there's 1. Well, let's put the 3 right in. Of all the places we could put it, why don't we put it in the highest probability location for a 3? Wouldn't that make sense? 1, 2. Let's see if we can get some geometry around that. If that's the 1 and that's the 2, all right, we coming out here? 4 right now. Look where we are though. But pay attention to the time, right? The reason you want to use geometry is to kind of give us some guidelines on time. Could we be at, breaking $3,000 in May? Maybe sooner. No, we could do it. It's not like there's a requirement that it does it in that time window. Oh, something happening over on my other machine. Okay, so 1, 2. Well, if this is going to complete this little impulse here, that's your 1 of 3, right? We can just lay it out. 3, 4, 5, right? Now, is he going to do that? Well, fuck, I have no idea. But I can sit here and say, well, based on patterns that we know tend to repeat in the market, based on human emotion, fear, and greed, what's causing this? What's causing this? Greed. What's causing this? Fear. Elliott Wave is entirely, right? We get all caught up in the magic of this. It's all just human emotion. Fear and greed. That's all Elliott Wave is measuring, really. But because people do things in very predictable ways, we can put some framework around it and say, wow, everybody was scared here. Oh, I want to be a little more bullish here, but I'm fearful. Oh, fear, right? Oh, I don't want to miss out. What's this? FOMO. Right? Oh God, I don't want to miss it. Right. In many respects, it's taking advantage of that. God, I hate to say it that way, but that's the harsh reality of it, right? I mean, let's be real. What is the trader trying to do? We're trying to take advantage of their natural human instinct to be fearful and greedy. So when the market starts running, what does retail do? They wait until it's safe. Oh God, it's finally safe, and it's safe when they hit the 3 or they hit they hit some logical location where they're likely to run into some resistance, and they go, okay, it's safe now. I can get in now. They have no idea there's a median line there. They have no idea, right? Oh, it must be safe now. And the next thing that the market goes down. Oh shit, I better get out now because now I'm afraid. Oh, it's going to go again here. I better get it. Oh, okay, it's safe now. Right? And the pattern just repeats over and over and over and over and over again. Right now, so do we have it? We don't have it yet, right? We don't have the 5 yet. This is not quite there. It's like Bitcoin. We don't quite have it to where we can go, hell yes. There it is. Blows in, 1, 2, 1. Now, again, as I said, right, Elliott Wave is not a crystal ball. We could easily, the whole thing falls apart, right? We default on the debt, all that, look out below, right? But right now, it would be reasonable to assume, as dumb as we are, we're not going to do that. I'm not saying we couldn't or that it's not possible that it happens, but let's get on the other side of that pivot. 3, 4, 5. How am I doing on time? Shit, I can't even see. I'm using this new. There's 35. Okay, I'm using a new recorder here, which I use on my other machine. So hopefully this is all going to come out all right. All right, let's finish with the S&P. Shit, I can't remember where I had it. Okay, so let's look at this is the count that I had been, well, it's still potentially there. Oh, let me back up here. Let's go out to the daily. I'm still a little, this is a cleaner looking count. In my view, all right, for what that's worth. Right? In my view, this is just a cleaner looking count. I got a 5, I got a 3, I got a 5, I got a 3, I got a 5, I got a 3. Right, but the market, there's no obligation for the market to follow this Elliott count. The market's going to do what it's going to do. But right now, can I count this? Can I eliminate this possibility here that we've still got that this is still got a C to complete? Can I eliminate that? Definitely not. Definitely not. Where could I? Well, if we start to break beyond this and we get, if this is going to be 1, 2, and we get, right, lows in, off we go. Markets always, forever and ever, the natural bias of the markets is always to go higher. It's trying to keep it down. They go down, right? But it's like keeping an inflated ball underwater. It's going to come back up. Right, through all of recorded history, right? It's going to come back up. That's just the tendency of markets. It's better for everybody, better for business, right? And if it's better for business, it's likely where it's headed, right? Not that it couldn't come down. I'm just saying, or the market wants to go up, so it takes a very substantial reason for it to stay down. That's down. How long did that last? That's down. I mean, we just go back through all of market history. Right? They want to go up. So you don't want to fight that natural tendency. I'm not saying don't take advantage when fear's in the air, but the market always wants to go higher. Right? That's the natural bias of the market. So keep that in mind when you're positioning. Okay, so we can't eliminate this count because we're not in the clear yet. This is still a candidate for a B. We clear this, right? Could there still be a count that gets us to new lows? Yeah, because this could be a 5. This could be, there could be some sort of combo going on here. We get a B here, and then we go down for the C. That's still, we can't eliminate that. So as a technician, you have to say, well, okay, do I think that's going to happen? Well, I'm kind of mixed on that, right? It's certainly A could have a big B. Right, so we're still, wow, look at we're going here, but the pattern would still be A, B, C. Oh fuck, you don't know. Who cares what the ABCs are, right? I mean, a lot of people that are not fans of Elliott Wave would say, well, who fucking cares about an ABC? Who fucking cares, right? The market's going to do what it's going to do. It's all based on fundamentals and interest rates and money policy. Well, these patterns have been around since the 1930s, right? It's just, again, it's a measure of human emotion. So before you go balls deep and getting long, at least get the odds in your favor, right? So let's get some of this cleared out. Now, what's the alternative that would, again, much like Bitcoin, where we're going, fuck, man, is that the low? Well, how could this be the low? Well, what if you're looking at that? The first thing I'd want to do, and as I did when I came to this, because this has been the count that I've been kind of leaning into. Well, let's just assume, right, which is always a good assumption to make, right, because you're going to be wrong more than you're right. Let's assume I'm just completely fucking wrong. Well, what would you do with that? How are you going to get this here done? Well, you've got all these 5s and 3s and 5s and 3s. How are you going to get that done? Here, you got to start from a blank slate. What's the simplest thing we could do? Oh, did I have it here? I thought I did. Oh, let's go out to the daily here. Here I was crescendoing to a big moment here. Let's go. Oh shit, hang on. Maybe it's over here. Oh, hang on a second. Let me find it. All right, I'm back. It took me a minute. I've got so many versions of this. Okay, let's pull back out. Right, so I'm back on a daily COVID low. Pretty easy to get a 5 into that. What did we do? Retrace. I mean, within ticks of a 50% retracement, right? I mean, fairly common retracement. Well, what's the easy way to solve this puzzle? 5, 3, 5. Okay, what does that suggest? Now, can we complicate that? Yeah, I could complicate the fuck out of that. But is there some need to? Why do we need to? Why do I need to complicate it? I can get a 5 in here for an A. I can get a 3 in here. I can get a 5 down. Okay, A, B, C. Is it, a perfect looking zigzag? No. Is it technically valid? Yes. Did we pivot at a location that would make sense where there's not even a question mark that's algo involvement. There's none. 0. 98% of the trading in the S&P is algos. So, on the S&P daily, they're not going to ping the 50. They're not going to start buying there. I think not. I think we can all agree that's algo participation. Oh, well, maybe it's just maybe just the 50% is all it's going to need. Well, let's go here. We'll go to the 4-hour. Let's get this one off just for the time being. Oh shit, I got those locked. Let's hide it. ABC. Well, this has done nothing but measured moves. Let's unlock you. Nothing but measured moves from the low, which should surprise exactly 0 people. Anyone who watches my channel or studied David Halsey's work or been a member or just a YouTube subs, there are 0 surprises in here. 0. I mean, I know people go, oh, fuck, no, not this again. There's 1, 50, target, 50. We're not to target yet. Oh, God, and in there, it's just relentless. It's just relentless measured moves. It's all it does, right? It's measured moves. Oh, this is a measured move here. Oh, shit, I can't. Give me a second here. 50 target. Right here, we know they use this. 50 target. Where are we stalling? At the targets, right? There's a lot of open interest up here, often called the call wall at 4,100, because that's where see the reason this is like, you can see the resistance up here, right? So because in normal market where we're not so Fed sensitive, what's the normal pattern of institutions, right? They're going to long the asset, and they're going to buy puts for protection to offset the cost of the protection. They're going to sell calls. Well, who's on the other side of the institutions? If they're selling calls up here, right, because they want to pay for that to buy the puts, well, the market makers have to be on the other side of that. So when we get up here, market makers, they sure as hell don't want to have any directional exposure. They're just trying to get delta, or as they would call it, gamma. They're trying to get, let's just call it directionally neutral. So if they've bought the call, well, let me rephrase. So if institutions are selling the calls to pay for the puts, the market maker is long calls. Well, how's he going to hedge that? Well, if they're long calls and the market starts to come down, well, they've got to short futures to stay neutral. So this tends to be a bit of a throttle on the enthusiasm here, which is how you end up stalling here, right, or in this zone. Now, just because they're there, I mean, this can roll up, right, depending on what the institutions are doing and how aggressive they are. If this continues to go, well, market makers are going to have to adjust accordingly. Let's get that off of there. All right, so you guys kind of get the idea. not there yet, right? So what, I have an alert sitting right there, right? Double top last time, right? That's the call wall, right? And you can look at it. You just look at the open interest in the options market. Massive open interest there. Well, who is that? Well, we know who that is, right? It's not you and me. We're not buying 500 or selling 500 or 5,000 calls. Shit, closer to 5,000 calls up there. Right? Massive open interest up there. Who's on the other side, right? It's not retail. It's got to be the market maker, right? So just 1, 2, 3. I bet there's at least 25 measured moves, if not more. If I went down to a 5-minute. Probably 50 measured moves in there that have all completed. Now, remember, just because the buy side is completing, the sell side is failing, right? So there's plenty of sell side measured moves that have failed. We only focus on those that complete. I mean, for an easy example, right? This one broke, right? This one. So you get that battle between the two. Right, and this is what it looks like in the S&P every day, right? So, this guy broke, right? So, what does the institution do, right? So because they don't give a flying, they don't care, right? Because they'll just wait. This is something we talk about a lot. Come on. All right, so you understand how this is. A lot of people misunderstand, think, if it breaks the 65, they're buyers. No, that's not what happens, right? If it breaks the 65, they get stopped out. They wait for the next retrace because when it retraces, they'll eventually get on the right side. You've heard me say this many, many times, right? They'll get on the right side. Is it this one? Could be this one. They'll wait for this one. Along the way, maybe we can get another one. Right? Have they been compensated for the one that stopped out here? Yeah, I think so. All right. Given the size they trade. Yeah, they're compensated. Okay, so 1, 2. Is this 1, 2? Shit, I don't love this as a 2. Actually, I think you got to do it like this. A, B, C, because that's such a clear 5. So this becomes... we can get this done. Well, you got to do it. It's a little funky, but you have to do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take that down. Something along those lines here. Do we do it? Well, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Well, this is not overly complicated. Some sort of 5 here. It looks like, can we sneak that in there? I don't think we can. Well, you could do it this way here. We could put the 1 here. We could go A, B, C into the B, C into the 2, and now we can get an impulse here that plays with the extension in the 1. Little Elliott shuffle, maybe, but I don't think it matters, right? So because what happened on the retrace? What is it you're looking at here? If that's a 5, if I get the 5 here, can I get a 3 that would be technical? Could I get that? Could I get a 3 that would be technical? I don't know. Can you? Do I need to label that for you? Members, I know I don't. ABC. Into the 2. 5, 3. What do I got here? Sure looks like a 5 to me. Can we do it again? Looks like you'd have to do it this way. 3, 4, working on that 5. I don't know that the high is in, right? That 4,100 would make a logical location for that to pause. Okay, what's next, right? We're going to hit the call wall here going into the Fed. Maybe we get past it. Where's the target to this algo? Right there. I would not bet against that getting hit. Now, it may not go as fast because there's going to be market maker resistance, right? So it's going to slow the volatility a little bit as they hedge, right? They got to sell futures, right? Get up here. There's your 1. Here comes the 2, right? What are we retracing? I don't have that target, right? So we're just kind of looking at potential pivots. All right, where are we looking for? Where's the next location? I mean, you don't have to make this as complicated as many seem to want to. 5s and 3s. Can I make it that simple? I mean, that's what we're teaching now. We're now sure in our belt system, right? We want you to know all the complex, the double combos. We want you to know all that stuff. You particularly, first you have to know it before you can even consider, well, do I want to modify it at all? I'm not a purist, right? So I will fudge on the edges, certain things, right? The 3 bigs, right? Which if you don't know the 3 bigs of Elliott Wave, well, then you need maybe the belt system, blue belt here would be good for you. You got to have the knowledge before you start working on the edges of it. This algorithm is what moves the market. Pardon me, let me rephrase that. It's not why it moves, it's how it moves. I think again, thank you, David Halsey. Not my discovery. I just teach it, right? I didn't discover Elliott Wave either. Okay, guys, there you go. I think I gave you a lots to chew on here. What's the next trade? Well, it's a little bit of a hurry up and wait, right? Do you want to be you're kind of late to the party on a Friday with Fed on Wednesday. Do you want to be getting overly exposed directionally going into Wednesday? Maybe not. Maybe not. So you can understand why whales wouldn't want to either. Suppose there is a surprise or shit happens or a bomb goes off. They don't. That's why they hedge. That's why they sell the calls to buy the puts. Right? That's the normal course of business in whale land or in the ocean of whales. So that if this happens, right, they're not getting hurt. Okay, guys, I think I gave you lots to chew on there. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to go 50 minutes, but I seem to have trouble being less wordy. Hopefully, a few little nuggets, a few things to think about. I always forget until the end. Smash that like button. Hope you'll subscribe. I'm just a terrible promoter. Never really had to because people have just always kind of joined us along the way, but I'm not great at it, right? So much more competitive now. I should be doing it more than I do. But there we go. All right, I wrapped it up. Hope there you are. All of our links are below. Hopefully, if any of the stuff I'm talking to you about here is something you're interested in, you want to learn more about it, well, I think a reasonable place to go get that education. Okay, guys, have a great weekend. We'll be back next week. We'll do some updates on the option trading, and until then, I will catch you guys next week. Have a great one. See you later.